them smell pretty and have a beautiful scent to them, but also add a lot of benefits, because a lot of oils have benefits, like you said, for aromatherapy benefits, but also just for our skin, her hair, different things like that. So that's kind of what started it. And then from there, I started looking at different areas of my home and thinking about the cleaners that I had that I was going to be, spraying on the tables and cleaning her toys with, and the different soaps that I was going to be using to be cleaning her dishes with. And as I started looking at ingredients on things, I was alarmed with what were in them and the warning labels on those. And so quickly I started just transitioning into making everything homemade using natural products and my essential oils. So in the beginning, it was a lot of trial and error and just seeing what worked. And as I started coming up with recipes that I found that were working really well for my family, I decided to start the blog to make it easier for people so they didn't have to go through all the trial and error that I had to go through. And so that's kind of what led to the blog and got us to where we are today.
When we were planning the activities that you would show us today, you mentioned that some scents are not recommended for use with kids. Please explain what you mean by hot scents and why, for example, you avoid mixing cinnamon or cloves into projects that children would touch.
So some essential oils are considered hot oils and some are considered neat oils. A neat oil is an essential oil that you can put on undiluted onto the skin. Now, anytime I'm doing anything with kids, I still always dilute it, even if it's considered a neat oil, just to be on the safe side, because essential oils are very concentrated. So I want to make sure that the oils that I'm using on my children and I'm recommending for other kids, that they're safe for use. So I always suggest diluting them. And then for a hot oil, like you said, cinnamon, clove, oregano, ginger, those are some of the hotter oils. And those ones can be hot just with the touch on the skin. So if you put them directly on the skin without using a carrier oil or diluting it in something first, they can actually burn the skin. So we definitely want to stay away from those oils when we're making something for kids. Other oils that I added to this list are your mint oils. So like peppermint, wintergreen, and spearmint. Those oils have really great benefits for helping with like if you have like aches and different discomforts, because they're kind of like a natural icy hot, where when you put them on, they can cool and then heat up and then cool like the skin. And so those are great. But if you're using those on a child, that heating up could actually irritate their skin. So there's just some of the oils that I would stay away from with kids. And then obviously you can try them out to dilute them on your own kids and see kind of what works for them. But for a project that I'm going to be making or like recommending for a kid, I would definitely stay away from those hotter oils, just so we can avoid any type of skin irritations or avoid them getting these hot oils on their skin, so they don't have any type of oil injury.
Thank you for explaining which oils would be important to dilute. Could you now tell us, how do you dilute a concentrated essential oil?
One of the best ways to dilute them is just adding it to a carrier oil. So any vegetable-based oil is a carrier oil. You can use coconut oil, olive oil, avocado oil, jojoba oil, different oils like that. So you can do like make a roller bottle if you're doing it topically, just with a little roller bottle, and you add in carrier oil in there, then a couple drops of the essential oil, and then that's diluted to apply onto child's skin. Or you can even just put a little bit of like coconut oil, olive oil in your hand and put a couple drops in there, rub it together. And that would be a great way to dilute oils if you're using them topically on your children.
Great advice. Now let's talk about the role that smell plays in evoking emotions. Neuroscientists tell us that both color and scent are important triggers that evoke memories and stir emotions. And there's fascinating research from Yale University where they report that the smell of Crayola crayons is one of the top 20 most recognizable scents, right up there with coffee and peanut butter. Adults say that the scent of Crayola crayons brings back memories, beautiful memories from their childhood. And just one strong whiff of a crayon can make them smile, or, nestling a box of 64s or 24s right up there gives you that great childhood feeling. So please tell our viewers about some of the aromatherapy scents that are associated with feelings of warmth and comfort and tend to be really relaxing.
I love that because it's so true. There are just certain scents that you smell that bring back memories. And that's because when we breathe in aromatherapy or any type of like scent, it goes to the part of your brain that known as the limbic system. And that part of the brain stimulates memories. And so, and I always think about that when you like smell cinnamon, it just makes you think of Christmas or something, or like a certain scent might make you think of your grandma's house. And that's why. So with essential oils, I think that a lot of your floral oils, like your lavender and your chamomile, geranium, those oils are really going to give you that nice, relaxing, calming emotions. And that's because of those scents just kind of invoke that. And like you said, like even with the color, I noticed like your colors, like your purples, kind of give you that same kind of feeling. And then if you think of like orange and yellow, it's bright, the color's bright, and it's also a bright, uplifting smell. If you're like pairing that with an orange or lemon or a lime or those like fruity scents that kind of go with those colors, those are just very uplifting scents that can help to uplift the mood, make you feel happy, and just kind of give you that little energy that you need. Whereas on the other side, your floral oils like your lavender and your chamomiles are going to give you those more calming and relaxing feelings.
I love the way each of the scents can be tied to an emotion. So let's talk a little bit about visuals and tactile scents. The way people respond to colors, of course, is very personal and it's often culturally based. So we don't want to make generalizations. However, most people tend to find those warm colors, that yellow, orange, red, which are in the warm color family, that tends to excite them. Whereas the cool colors, the blues, the greens, the purples, they tend to be calming. So what color tips might help our viewers make the choices when in a few minutes they're going to join you in a hands-on art experience and thinking about the colors that might tend to be soothing and calming?
When combining colors with aromatherapy, I like to use the color of the fruit or the flower that corresponds with that particular oil. So like, for example, I would use like purple with lavender, orange with orange oil, yellow with lemon. And I love that all the colors can kind of go with the oil and help set a particular mood.
So the other that we'll be talking about is that tactile experience, the sense of touch. So talk with us about how pulling and stretching and kneading a modeling experience like Model Magic can help to release stress and lessen tension.
I think this has been something that we've known forever. I mean, you have like stress balls and things, and just the act of like moving it around, just a way to kind of move the tension to something else. And also now with like kids having like fidget spinners and like different things they can do with their hands, I even find that I like to be like pushing something around with my hands. And then when you said kneading, that reminded me too. I like to make bread. And anytime that I'm just like kneading a loaf of bread, it's just relaxing. It's like really is like a stress reliever just to like do that motion, kind of like put your energy into something else.
Well, we are all excited to dive into the hands-on experiences. So the three senses that we're going to be exploring through these hands-on projects are smell, sight, and touch. And they're all going to come together as you demonstrate things that people can do with kids. Laura, I love your message about keep it simple. Please show us how to make simple aromatherapy art that's as much fun to make as it is to play with or display or give as a gift.
All right, so this first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to make some different designs here with the Crayola Model Magic. So this is just obviously the yellow one. And if you don't have the yellow, you can use a plain white one and then add a little bit of yellow marker to it to change the color. And so I'm just going to make a simple sun out of this. But before I do that, I'm going to add a little bit of lemon essential oil to this just to give it those aromatherapy benefits. So I have my lemon oil right here. And like I mentioned before, essential oils are very concentrated. So I'm just going to do a couple of drops here and I'm going to put it onto the Model Magic. And then I'm just going to kind of massage it in just to make sure that it's kind of all throughout it. And I can already smell it. It has that really beautiful, fresh and clean lemon scent to it. So I'm going to make a sun with the yellow, just because, you know, it kind of gives you that color, the scent, and the image all kind of tying together. So this is just going to be really simple. You can just make a little circle and then make some rays with the sun. I'm going to add in a little bit more of the lemon, a couple more drops to this one. And like I said, as you're massaging it in, you can really smell that beautiful scent of lemon. And I like using lemon with kids, especially because it's very uplifting. It can help put them in a happy mood. And it just has that beautiful, like I said, it's a cleansing oil and has a really clean scent to it. So I'm just kind of designing this to make it look more like a sun. But what's neat about this is it will firm up. And if you want to, before it does that, you can poke a hole in it to make, you know, and add some string to it to hang it. You can even put a magnet on the back to make a magnet for the refrigerator or something like that. Or you can make certain designs like this that can make it look really good for an ornament or something around holiday time. But just doing these simple little designs, then like I said, it will firm up, and then you'll have an aromatherapy sun that gives you that beautiful lemon scent. Now I'm going to use a little bit of the purple Model Magic to make a crescent moon. And for this one, I'm going to add in that lavender essential oil. And so I like that because one, it's the same color and it kind of helps you to see that, you know, the color and correspond that with lavender, but also because we're making a moon, which is nighttime, and lavender is a great oil for nighttime because it's very calming and relaxing. So this is a great scent to use for your children whenever you're trying to calm them down before bedtime, or just, you know, when you're trying to get them ready for sleep. So I'm just kind of forming it into a moon here. And then same as this one, you can leave it and let it harden. You can add in the string if you want, or you can even just keep it like this. It's just fun for your kids to play with. And with that lavender in there, it'll be a very calming exercise. So if you're trying to do school with them or something and they're being a little bit rowdy, you can give them a little break and put some lavender and some clay so they can kind of work on that, and it gives them a little stress reliever, plus it'll help to calm and relax them. So it's a little moon shape. All right, so now I have the red Model Magic, and for this one I'm just going to shape a really simple heart. And for this one, I'm going to add in some orange essential oil and also some vanilla. So there is vanilla essential oil, or you can just use regular vanilla extract that you would find just in your pantry for baking, which I had mine back here, some of mine. So I'm just going to put a couple of drops of vanilla in there, and then I'm going to put in a couple drops of the orange. And I just love that orange vanilla scent together. For me, it kind of reminds me of dreamsicles, those ice cream popsicles that I had when I was a kid. So I'm just going to massage that in to the Model Magic. And it has such a beautiful scent. I love that. And orange is a very uplifting oil, kind of similar to the lemon. They're both obviously a citrus oil, and they have some similar properties to them. And then I'm shaping this in to a heart. This would be a fun one that a kid could make, and pretty easy. And they could put a little magnet on it as well. It'd be kind of cute on the fridge. And as they're doing this, they're getting those aromatherapy benefits.
Beautiful. I love the way you show us how to make simple designs that we can enjoy every day hanging on our fridge or give as a gift. So aromatherapy is a great way to relax, appreciate the beauty around us, and to share our creativity with others. I love how these handmade aromatherapy gifts help us to show gratitude and share that uplifting feeling with others. So we had talked about doing a homemade scratch and sniff aromatherapy card. Using, again, household materials, the paper, the aromatherapy, and expressing thoughts that would help others enjoy their day or relieve the stress or know you're thinking about them. So Laura, please demonstrate how construction paper can be used to make a homemade scratch and sniff sticker that could be added, a little sticker or a patch that can be added to a card that might say, thinking of you, or relax your own way.
I'm going to move my clay over so I can That's my construction paper. So with this, you can just make a basic card just by folding your paper in half and then writing on there whatever you want. But for the stickers, what's fun is you can take another piece of construction paper and your child can cut out some different shapes. So I have some scissors. You can do, I mean, really simple shapes. They can even just cut out like little triangles or squares or little hearts. And then on those little pieces, you can add some essential oils so it makes like a little scratch and sniff sticker. So I have a little heart here that we're just going to glue on to our card. And cut out some more triangles. And you could do all different colors with this. This could be a very, could be very different. This is kind of an idea. And then you can do it with any colors that you want, any type of card. This would be a really cute idea. So with these little pieces of paper or my stickers that I'm making, you can just take them, I'm gonna lay them here so you guys can see. And I'm just gonna put a drop of essential oil on each one. So I'm gonna do a lavender on this one and some lemon on this one. And whenever they first go on there, it's obviously going to make the paper wet, looking wet, but they will dry. And essential oils are not like a vegetable-based oil that stains, or like, if you get essential oils on your clothes, it doesn't stain like a vegetable-based oil does. So this will dry clear once it's all dry, so then it'll look okay on your card. So I'm just doing the lavender and lemon. Again, you can do any scent that you want to do or your kids want to do. You can just use markers to write a little message on the card. Whatever you want to write. I'm just going to write get well soon, like I'm making a get well soon card. And then we'll just take, I have a little glue right here, and just glue the little shapes on around our card. Now, if you're doing this, it would be best to wait and let these dry a little bit before gluing them, but just for the purpose of this video to kind of show you the idea, I'm just gonna glue them on now. Like I said, you can't wait and let them dry and then stick them on there. Then you'll be able to smell that scent whenever they give their card to the person that they're wanting to give it to. So you essentially just have these little shapes of different that they cut out that have the different oils on there. And then obviously they can open it up and they can write in here. Like I said, this will dry. It won't be all stained up once it's dry. So just a good idea that they could give a card to somebody with some essential oils on there, just so whenever the person opens the card, they're going to have those beautiful aromatherapy scents on their card.
Wow, that's great. And it really gives kids a voice in expressing their concern for the well-being of others. So Laura, as a mother of 5, you certainly know how every child wants to participate and be independent, regardless of how old they are or how experienced they are using scissors. So could you demo for us a torn paper sticker as a way to demonstrate how a child who hasn't really mastered scissors, or if they're so young that you're not comfortable giving them scissors yet, how they too can be independent in creating their own sticker?
That is a really great idea, and it's true because I have some younger ones that don't really use scissors yet. And yeah, they can easily just take their paper and tear off little pieces to make their stickers. And because they're little kids, they're probably going to actually be a lot bigger pieces like this, but it's still just the thought that counts, and they get to feel like they're doing something too. It'll be really fun for them to tear the paper and then use the glue if they're old enough to use the glue to put it on. And if not, you can help them to put the oils and the glue onto the paper. I know that my younger ones that don't really use scissors yet love using glue, usually too much glue, but they really love using the glue. So the glue part is the most exciting part. So if you can just have some paper to tear up and glue onto something else, and then obviously you can write the words on the card that they want you to write and add the oils on for them.
So while our viewers are wrapping up their card making experience, I want to remind everyone to stay updated on future Creative Spa for Teacher programs. as well as the many other Crayola education programs, it's easy to sign up for our free Crayola Creative Learning e-newsletter. Every month, free teaching tips and ideas will be coming to your email. Wow, Laura, you have shared so many great insights about essential oils, aromatherapy, and ways to help us reduce stress and tension. Your passion for this approach has really resulted in a lot of parents and teachers asking you for more information, more ways to keep learning. Please let us know what kinds of additional tips and recipes that people can find when they visit your blog or they take one of your courses.
You can find me. I have a blog at ourlyhouse.com, and on my blog, that's really the place where you're going to find all of my recipes for my cleaning supplies that I make and all of my skincare and hair care. Make lots of soap bars and just a lot of tips on essential oil. So going more into depth with the things that I was talking about today, I have several blog posts that are for just teaching you how to use essential oils for kids, different roller bottle recipes for kids. And so there's a lot of good information on there. And then also on my YouTube channel, if you're more of a person that likes to watch instead of read, you can find almost all of my recipes in video form. So I kind of do like DIY tutorials and just teach you guys how to make these different recipes. Now, I also have an essential oil course. So if you're looking for more education on essential oils and you're wanting to learn just everything there is to know to become an essential oil expert, even if you're brand new and you've never even touched a bottle of essential oil, I have a free masterclass where I talk more about the course, and I also give you a lot of information in that. So you can get that masterclass at bit.ly/Our Oily House Masterclass.
Wow, this has been great. So much fun and very relaxing. So Laura, what closing remarks would you want to share with today's viewers to continue to inspire them to explore their emotions through aromatherapy?
Two things. One, just get started. Just if you have any essential oils, just opening them up and just smelling them straight out of the bottle can be a great way to get an aromatherapy benefit without having to make anything or worry about diluting it, or if you're doing it right or wrong, just literally sniffing it out of the bottle is a great way to get started. And then something else that I like to tell all of my followers and my readers on my blog is to not get overwhelmed with the fact of thinking, okay, now I need to go in and like ditch all of my cleaners, all my hair care, all my skincare, get rid of everything. Like I said, I started this journey almost 10 years ago, so it wasn't something that I did overnight. And it shouldn't be something that you think you should do overnight, because I don't want, obviously, to get stressed about it or think that it's really overwhelming and daunting when you think about that. So just pick one thing that you think you would like to replace in your home and start with that.
We want to thank Laura Asher for inspiring us today. And a special thanks to all of you for joining us in this program. Stay well, stay strong, and take care of yourself creatively.
Thank you so much for having me. This was super fun. I hope that you guys all learned a lot. And yeah, we'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.